You have done it 1,000 times. You pick up your phone, you open something, you scroll for 30 seconds, you close it, you open it again, you scroll the exact same content you just scrolled. You close it, you put it down. 10 seconds later, you pick it up again. You are not looking for anything. You are not even enjoying it. You are just running from something. And that something is one of the most powerful, most misunderstood, most important signals your brain will ever send you. You have been treating boredom like an enemy your entire life. It is not. And the moment you understand what it actually is, you will never look at a quiet moment the same way again. Here's the thing nobody tells you about boredom. It is not laziness, it is not weakness, it is not a sign that something is wrong with you. Researcher John Eastwood at York University spent years trying to define exactly what boredom is, and what he landed on is not what most people expect. Boredom, he said, is the unfulfilled desire for satisfying engagement. Read that slowly, not the absence of things to do, not emptiness, not nothing. An unfulfilled desire. Boredom means your brain wants something. Something real, something meaningful, something that actually matters to you. And right now, you do not have it. That is not a flaw. That is a signal. Your brain is not broken when it is bored. It is trying to tell you something. But here's what makes this genuinely strange. When you are bored, your brain is not resting. It is not quiet. It is not doing nothing. The moment external demands drop away, a network inside your brain lights up. Scientists call it the default mode network. And what happens inside this network is extraordinary. This is where you imagine your future, where you process your deepest emotions, where you think about the people you love and what they might be feeling, where you make sense of your own life, where your most creative, most original, most important ideas are born. Your brain, when bored, stops processing the world outside and starts processing the world inside. And the results of that internal processing have shaped some of the most important ideas in human history. Darwin took long, aimless walks that looked like pure boredom. Newton was famously idle in a garden. Einstein spent hours as a young man doing what looked like absolutely nothing, and described those moments as the origin of his greatest breakthroughs. They were not wasting time. They were letting their brains do the thing that only boredom makes space for. So, researcher Sandy Mann at the University of Central Lancashire ran an experiment. She made people do something genuinely, painfully dull, copying numbers out of a phone book. That is it. Just copying numbers. Then she tested their creativity. The bored group scored dramatically higher than the control group. Not slightly. Dramatically. The boredom had forced their minds to wander. And wandering minds make unexpected connections, unusual associations, creative leaps that a focused, stimulated, constantly entertained brain is simply too busy to make. Boredom, it turns out, is one of the most productive states your brain can enter, but only if you let it breathe. And that is exactly what we stopped doing. Think about the last time you sat somewhere with nothing in your hands. No phone, no screen, no podcast, just you and the world around you. Nothing to look at, nothing to consume, just quiet. When was it? Most people cannot remember, because the moment boredom appears now, we kill it. Instantly, before it can say a single word. We reach for the phone before the feeling even fully forms. And researcher Andreas Elpidarou has spent years studying what that costs us. He calls it the boredom trap. Every time you escape boredom through cheap stimulation, your brain adjusts its baseline. It gets used to constant input. The threshold for what counts as interesting rises. Normal life starts to feel insufficient. Ordinary moments start to feel unbearable. You are not becoming harder to impress. You are becoming impossible to satisfy. And the consequences of that are not small. Chronic boredom, the kind that never gets resolved because it never gets heard, is one of the strongest predictors of anxiety, depression, and an inability to find genuine meaning in your own life. Not because boredom is dangerous, but because you silenced it before it could finish what it was trying to say. Boredom is a compass. Every single time it appears, it is pointing somewhere, away from what is not working, toward what actually matters to you, towards something worth building, creating, pursuing. The most restless, most creatively alive people in history were not the ones who eliminated boredom. They were the ones who sat with it long enough to hear where it was pointing. You have done it 1,000 times. Picked up the phone, scrolled, closed it, opened it again. But what if, just once, you put it down and listened?